Oh, Aeroware is gonna get some run for its money. Alright, hey everyone. Welcome back to another video, and welcome back to the first Tech with Tom episode. For the longest time, we have been waiting for so long for this big episode to come out, and it's been a long time because, you know, the motivation and me really painstakingly editing every video takes long. So today, right in front of us, is the Temu Tech 777. Yes, why is the funny name of a Chinese e-commerce website? Well, don't know. Let's just start. The Temu Tech 777 has one of the most noticed aircraft. It was recently released by the guys at Temu Tech, so I wouldn't be surprised that they have been in the work for a long time. So let's go inside the Temu Tech 777. As you can see, the cabin looks really spotless. Actually, this is one of the nicest cabins, although there's still a work in progress because, yeah, they're going to be fixing up the cabins. Still a bit of a hole here, but, you know, progress takes time. Don't leave it here. But surprisingly, the noise is actually mimicking an actual 777. So a really, really nice aircraft. I'm going to see if the door is open. Oh, use the same click measure. And it opens just the same as the 777. This is on an A&A 777, so it would be like, you know what I'm saying? I think if you have the door lock on, it shouldn't be a difficult thing. So I don't think this one you can open. Oh, you can go through. Okay, they only open the front and the back of the BOEING 777. That was crazy. Yeah, as you may know, my CPU is a little spicy. It's because I'm right now testing PTM 7950, make sure well, and if it's bad, you know, I'm probably gonna have to send the computer for a repair shop. Open it? Open the door. No. And then we can jump onto the wing of the 777. The door. Yeah, alright, so yeah, Temu 777. A very new product, and to be fair though, I didn't really get my hands on it. I actually just started to test the plane, so you know, anchor off. I'm gonna use just engine 1, engine 2, and you can hear the sound of the 777. It is crisp, very crisp. I'm gonna test the spoilers. Okay. 1/2 full. Oh, it didn't allow us more, but the plane does wobble, so that's actually cool from the 777. Oops. Oh, there we go. It takes some time because the PTU needs to boot up, but yeah, overall it's pretty good. We're going back to ARM, the aircraft's tested. Let's get the aircraft on. Lights, to navigation, and beacon. That's of course strobe and wing. The sound is really nice. It's actually even mimics of an actual BOEING 777, so yeah. Alright, get control, and then we just got turn the engine on. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah. It follows realistic throttles, so it gives a bit of a boost. You can actually, considering it's a Skytech aircraft, you can customize the aircraft to literally do whatever you please. I think it's just, I recommend really, if any airline has issues, recommend just going for basically the notorious package where you can just customize the aircraft. Alright, let's test the aircraft. Let's get our taxi out to the runway. And yeah, okay. It's actually the 777. Controls wise, surfaces, they're really bulky on it. Oh, you have to move your camera up, so. And the rudders, there is animation, which is nice. Right there, speedometer is really weird, so yeah, also the ailerons follow through these. Well, let's see how. I want to see the roar of the 777, so. There we go, I want to see the roar. Give me the roar, baby. 80 knots. I still got control of the aircraft, so it's reaching 170. Clean rotates. Nice and crazy. There we go. Alright, the controls are actually using the bulky physics, so I kinda like it. I'm most of a guy for like bulky systems. The 777 is just a really nice airliner. Since this volume, otherwise my ear's gonna be popping. But yeah, it's a great aircraft. Alright, let's see how much. Let's just gonna do a quick fly over and then just touch down. Look at my overall. The Triple looks really cool though. Okay, I'm gonna set the flaps back up. You can hear the noise, but the noise gets way more louder. But I don't think it has like compared this to Aeroware. I think it's a bit tricky to literally, compare a very cool 777 from Tech Operator. And to be fair, though, the 777 handling is a bit on the tricky side, so if you don't, so I might say you might want to take a little time training with it, how to use this aircraft. I think it's, yeah, to be fair though, is since it was a Skytech kit, you can customize the throttle to be a little bit of a different throttle. You don't need realistic throttle. Sometimes a lot of airlines wouldn't really dare use realistic throttles in Skytech models back in the early days. So the fake throttles, it's way more, easier. Now just cruise climbing around 1,900 feet, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's really hard to trick, where the turning is. You gotta have a very angular turn. 777 can do a very sharp angle turn. I have to be very careful. There's big balance and pressure of this monstrous two General Electric engine powered. So I'm really surprised the aircraft was low. It's almost putting the nose off the ground. Basically balancing the aircraft over, yeah, it's over there. So I'm just gonna reduce the power. So yeah, it's a bit funky, but I like. Oh, I forgot I anchored, so don't actually do what I did. It's crazy stupid, and you could break the plane. So what I'm gonna do is get the aircraft nose a little higher pitch, while trying to get the aircraft descent rate stabilized at 490 feet, and I'll start by decreasing the power and increasing flaps. By the way, the flaps animations are really great on this 777, but the speed is going to be a bit tricky because I have to reduce the plane to 0 so we can get a stable speed. And we're still cruising over 400 knots, so we gotta use a plenty amount of runway just to land this airliner. And then flaps, I think flaps number is, flaps should be reaching flaps number. Extras, lost, or I don't think reverse thrust is, reverse is also, I don't think it's Q, so yeah, it's a bit tricky, yet when it's all on a layout, it's easier for you to really work that out, and start turning her in, and then increasing power. I have to be very careful because I do not want to increase the power too much. Using Skytech realistic throttle is a bit tricky, so that's why you have to be a bit of a balancing art on the throttle management, but it's still a great aircraft. Let's get her to turn in and get a nice stable approach. Right now we're just descending quickly. Reducing, let's just see, I just want to get the nose down without a lot, so it's a bit tricky to handle it. So I set the plane to flaps fully, spoilers are fully armed. So I have to be very careful because I don't want to push the nose too far because it's going to drop the altitude. It's basically a challenging art doing this kind of turn. I kind of used to do these kind of turns because I love kind of base approaches. Okay, I have to keep the speed 180 knots. 45 knots. I want to get as very much just a balancing act. When you're trying to land an aircraft, you're going to try to control as much speed on both the acceleration and the deceleration at the same time, making a tricky balance. So it's a bit of a second art how to balance this aircraft. There we go. Line her up into the last time we could fly over. So I'm going to try to get the speed down to 170. So it's a stable approach to this big airliner. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty cool though. Okay. More power. I want to keep the speed around 100, 600 feet. 100. I want to keep it around 150, 170 to 170 something because I do not know. Stall speed could be 160. It's a really tricky balancing act. It's just a really great aircraft. Now, I didn't own this airplane. I tested on the Temu Tech testing spot, so I just give you guys nautics, how this system performs. Okay, there we go. Let's hit the runway. Over the last pad radius, 50 feet, 40, 30, 20. There we go. And then just a little bit of braking. There we go. nice. And then just Q. There we go. Nice and balanced. We touched down smoothly. That was a good shot. First off, and then close off, and then flaps up. Okay, so I want to just cut the engines and give you guys the overall review of this 777. So let's just give you guys the overall review of this mighty 777. So my overall take on the let's see, I just want to open the door so we can give it a nice outro. Alright, nice outro. So what are my thoughts on the Temu Tech 777? Honestly. Now let's give you guys the overall review of the SkyTech, actually no, the Temu Tech 777. Personally, the Temu Tech 777 is a really nice aircraft. Now, the model itself, it is really tall, so you need to figure out how to deal with your ground equipment, but still the landing gear, tilt, animations, everything is really nice. The mesh model, yes, it's still unfinished, but it's still a work in progress. But overall, the 777 is a very nice handling aircraft. The positive side is that the SkyTech kit is also easily modified, so you can change the throttle and all the other stuff. But overall, I give this 777 an outstanding 9 out of 10. Yes, it's in Temu Tech's Discord. You can fetch yourself this beautiful bird for 1,100 road bikes, or 10 quid in the UK, so roughly 15 US dollars, or roughly 300,000 BND. Yeah, so 300,000 BND for this mighty bird. Alright, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!